You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Trump gives Republicans heartburn with latest tantrum, as Dems get unexpected gift by Tom Boggioni. Trump's ultimatum to block all legislation unless the Senate passes the Save America Act is creating heartburn in the Republican ranks and gifting Democrats an unexpected political weapon, and the party that is not in power could not be happier. The president's Sunday tantrum on Truth Social, demanding the controversial voter ID bill must be done immediately and supersedes everything else, has left GOP leadership scrambling. Trump is fixated on unsubstantiated claims that non-citizens are stealing elections, a concern he's weaponizing ahead of what Republicans fear will be bruising midterm losses, reports MS Now Jack Fitzpatrick. Republicans don't even have unanimity within their own caucus. Senator Lisa Murkowski, Republican from Alaska, has openly opposed the measure, meaning the 53-member GOP caucus cannot deliver unanimous support. Meanwhile, passing the bill requires either securing a handful of Democratic votes to reach the 60-vote threshold or eliminating the filibuster, a move Senate Majority Leader John Thune, Republican from South Dakota, admits lacks sufficient Republican backing. Democrats have seized on the dysfunction with glee. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat from New York, welcomed Trump's obstruction. If Trump is saying he won't sign any bills until the SAVE Act is passed, then so be it. There will be total gridlock in the Senate. Senator Raphael Warnock, Democrat from Georgia, was equally blunt. If the president is refusing to pass his own agenda, given his agenda, that's probably a good thing. The standoff threatens to derail critical legislation, including judicial nominations, a housing bill, and a measure to fund the Department of Homeland Security, which has been shuttered for more than 3 weeks. Thune attempted damage control Monday, downplaying Trump's ultimatum while expressing hope the president would ultimately sign legislation. "I know he's passionate about the Save America Act, and I think that his statement was an expression of that," Thune told reporters. "But I hope, at the end of the day, that if we can move things across the floor here and actually put legislation on his desk, that he'll find his way to sign." You can read more here.
Our analysis: Trump's ultimatum, a political spectacle unfolding. In a move that reeks of desperation and underscores a profound misunderstanding of legislative priorities, former President Donald Trump has thrown what can only be described as a political tantrum of epic proportions. His ultimatum to block all legislation unless the Senate passes the so-called Save America Act is not only creating internal discord within the Republican ranks, but also hands the Democrats an unexpected political cudgel. The spectacle is as alarming as it is absurd. Trump's demands, a dangerous precedent. Trump's demands, aired out on Truth Social, that the controversial voter ID bill must be done immediately and supersedes everything else, showcase a dangerous precedent. The fixation on unsubstantiated claims of non-citizens stealing elections is not just a flight of fancy, but a clear and present danger to the democratic process. It's a maneuver that seems less about securing electoral integrity and more about pandering to the base with unfounded conspiracy theories. GOP's disarray, a house divided. The GOP finds itself in a precarious position, caught between the rock of Trump's demands and the hard place of legislative reality, with figures like Senator Lisa Murkowski, Republican from Alaska, openly opposing the measure. The lack of unanimity within the caucus speaks volumes about the internal strife plaguing the party. The requirement of either courting Democratic votes or contemplating the nuclear option of eliminating the filibuster, with insufficient support even for that, highlights the quagmire in which the GOP finds itself. Democrats finding joy in GOP's misery. On the other side of the aisle, Democrats can barely contain their schadenfreude. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat from New York, and Senator Raphael Warnock, Democrat from Georgia, have expressed a kind of grim satisfaction at the unfolding drama, seeing it as an opportunity to highlight the dysfunction and misplaced priorities of the Trump-led GOP. This situation does not so much reflect well on the Democrats as it exposes the bankruptcy of ideas and leadership within the Republican Party. The cost of political stalemate. The real victims of this political stalemate are the American people. Critical legislation hangs in the balance, from judicial nominations to housing bills and even funding for the Department of Homeland Security, currently shuttered for more than 3 weeks. This brinkmanship threatens not just the fabric of American democracy, but the very lives and well-being of its citizens. A glimmer of reason? Senate Majority Leader John Thune's attempts at damage control, expressing hope that Trump would ultimately sign off on necessary legislation, seem less like a solution and more like wishful thinking. It's a band-aid on a bullet wound, a feeble hope that reason will prevail where caprice currently rules. Conclusion: a political circus with real stakes. What we're witnessing is not just a political spectacle, but a dire reflection of the state of American politics, where ego and baseless claims can derail critical governance. As the GOP scrambles and the Democrats watch with a mix of glee and disbelief, the American people are left wondering, when will the needs of the many outweigh the whims of the few? In this political circus, the stakes are decidedly real, and the clowns are not just in the center ring but seemingly in charge of the show. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article with the automated voices of Amy and Ryan. Thanks for listening.